Hello, and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol rums. This is, oh, going backwards. This is WD Liquors Light Rum, imported from the Caribbean islands. There's an old map of the world, some sugarcane stalks in the background, a couple of banners. All right, sold at Winn-Dixie only. You cannot buy it. You cannot have it delivered or get it curbside pickup. You have to go in the store and buy it yourself. Okay, probably a state law about that. Sold only at Winn-Dixie because it's their brand and it's produced by Wide World Importers for W's. Winn-Dixie, the beef people. That's what their tagline is, the beef people. Wide World Importers is part of Sazerac, okay? Sazerac Company. You've heard of them, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Blanton's. Here is Calypso Silver. Could never find out when it was introduced. Don't know when it was introduced. I'd tell you if I could find it. Come on, focus. But apparently it's been on the market a long time. I don't see it in Louisiana too often, but I can find it. I am able to track it down in Louisiana, okay, usually in the big plastic handle bottles. But it's rum with natural flavors, bottled by Sazerac North America. Okay, Kentucky. So they're both bottled in Kentucky. Now this one's, I think this one's made in Kentucky. It doesn't say that, but doesn't say imported either. Isle of Fire, Wayne says, cheers. Cheers back to you, Wayne. Kevin Johnson, haven't seen these brands before. Would you recommend me trying them? Yes, I would recommend it. Okay, let's look at the screen share for a moment. Winn-Dixie Light Rum. When I checked my local store, they didn't have it. It's still wiped out from the weekend. Crazy, huh? But they'll restock. It'll probably be restocked by tomorrow. But here is in Luling, Louisiana. $12.99. Now I paid $13.99, but after I bought it, of course, they dropped the price for a dollar till the end of this month, August 25th. I felt disgusted, but still, I thought $13.99 was a good deal. But it's $12.99 right now. But you have to go to Winn-Dixie. So don't live close to Winn-Dixie. Well, you know, you're not going to get it. And I think they have a deal Indy right now. Yeah, they got Hartley going for $8.99. But that's not exclusive. That's not a Winn-Dixie brand. That's just, I'm showing it is made by Sazerac. They're showing that. I mean, it's not only sold at Winn-Dixie. They sell it at a lot of stores like Total Wine and more. Okay, well, anyway. I'll pour them. Now, the Calypso I bought in Houston, Texas 2 years ago. And or was it last year? I can't remember. I lose track, but it wasn't. I think it was 2 years ago, and it was $5.89 for this regular size bottle. $5.89. They had the silver and the gold for $5.89. I said, well, for that price, I don't know if it's any good, but I'm not going to argue about it. And it's all right. It's nothing spectacular, but I don't hate it. But yeah, for 5.89, what the heck? You hadn't lost anything. Silver cap, silver bottle. I think this is probably produced by Glenmore Distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky, because Glenmore is a new. They tore down the old distillery; it was so dilapidated, and Sazerac had a brand new one built from the ground up. I watched the video about it. They showed like a time lapse video, and they started producing rum there. And nothing says rum like Kentucky, right? Uh, Wayne says just having a Milwaukee's Best ice while currently attempting to cook some homemade chili cheese dogs from a brand I never heard of. Hopefully they turn out all right. Well, I hope so too. So these are both silver, clear, white, whatever you want to call them. Now, I know the Calypso on the label says rum with natural flavors, and this one does not say that. But that's not a remarkable thing because if you read your regulations, U.S. government regulations, rum does not have to tell you if it has flavoring added. They can add flavoring to rum and they don't have to tell you about it. Don't have to. You can just add flavoring, put it on the shelf, you buy it. But I've noticed over the years that Sazerac, Buffalo Trace, Sazerac, they do tell you if they add flavoring. I don't know. I guess they just upfront about it. So I noticed that when the bottle does not say flavoring, it's most likely not flavored. So this one does not say what natural flavors does. And a lot of other rums they make will say that, rum with natural flavors. It just depends on the brand. It depends on the brand. Doesn't matter where it comes from. It doesn't seem to have a pattern to it. Doesn't seem to be a pattern. It's just whatever they feel like flavoring. Now, they start doing that with bourbons. You say bourbon. Yeah. I don't know why. 10 High. It used to be a blended bourbon. Now it's a bourbon with natural flavors. Kentucky Tavern, same story. Blended bourbon. Now it's bourbon with natural flavors. Kentucky Gentleman used to be blended bourbon. Now it's bourbon with natural flavors. Now, why did they switch over? I don't know. But maybe people thought that the blended bourbon was nasty or something. They just felt that it tasted better, or maybe it was cheaper. I don't know, but I don't know how it could be cheaper though, because the blended bourbon is up to 49% grain neutral spirits. It's unaged whiskey base. They don't even have to age it. It has to be 51% straight bourbon. Now these are just bourbon. Oh wait, I get it now. Not straight. Okay. Bourbon does not have to be aged at least 2 years. A lot of people believe that. That's a myth. It can be aged 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days. Bourbon, as long as they're not calling it straight bourbon. So yeah, that makes sense now that I think about it. So they took Kentucky Gentleman, which was 51% straight bourbon, had to be at least 2 years old. Then they had 49% grain spirits, unaged, and they blended it and sold it. But now it's bourbon with natural flavor. So it could be the youngest bourbon, but then but there's a workaround on that. There is a workaround, because if it doesn't have an age statement on the bottle, know it's at least 4 years. So that would defeat the purpose, like I was saying earlier, of doing that. But if they put an age statement like real small somewhere, like age 6 months, then you say, oh yeah, I got it. But I don't recall seeing that. But I didn't examine the bottles that carefully. I saw the new Kentucky Gentleman, and I saw the new Kentucky Tavern, and I saw the new now Kentucky Tavern. That's a sad story, because that used to be straight bourbon. That was Kentucky straight bourbon, and I bought that full size bottle, a liter bottle for $8.99. That stuff was really good, but maybe the sales were not really good, so they cheapened it. But they want to lose the copyright on it, the trademark. If you stop making it after a number of years, you lose the trademark, and they didn't want to do that. So yeah, okay, well, let's forget that because those are real low profile brands, kind of like these two. All right. Hector says those mics harder or strong. I felt it after I drank half the can. I should have bought the mics hard 5%. Yeah, those mics harder can mess you up because now mics hard is 5%. That's real mellow. Well, it's still strong, but it's mellow. But then you start messing around with those 8% mics harder, and they come in those big 23.5-ounce cans. You're asking for it. I'm telling you, and it goes down sweet like lemonade, because it is sort of like lemonade. It's really a beer, but it's sort of like lemonade. Oh, it'll woo. Burley Sullivan says, you. Well, I would say cheers back to you. Is the Wednesday wild card? Yes, first Wednesday of the month. Wild card, bring anything you want. Tom says, cheers from Pine Ridge, Indian Country, Nebraska. A dry reservation up here. Okay. I bet if you go one block outside the reservation, there'll be a liquor store there. I do like rum, but I just don't know what good foods would pair with them. I couldn't tell you. I never eat food with liquor. We're on vacation touring the Pine Ridge and the history in the area. Oh, that's good, Tom. It's really good. Rums. Okay. I haven't gone on any big trips this year. Actually, I don't think I went on any trips this year. What am I talking about? All right, taste time. Cheers. Smell time. Yeah, just alcohol. Smell like alcohol. This smells like water. One smells like alcohol and the other one smells like water. Now, I've done 3 challenges so far for clear rum now with the new, the Sazerac's WD rum. And I got 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie. Win, loss, tie. I got it wrong once. Got it right the second time. And the third time, I couldn't tell them apart, so I just called it a draw. You can go back and see those. I just called it a draw. Had to reshoot it yesterday because the audio was terrible. I restarted the computer. I don't know. It was screwed up. All right, taste. Good tequila here, boy, let me tell you. Yeah. It's just standard white rum. You get the sugarcane stalk, you get the sugar sweetness, not overly sweet, a little bit sweet. Is it a good rum? I would say yes. Do I know which one it is? No, not yet. Maybe not at all. Yeah, all right. Over here. A little bit drier, and there's the sugarcane stalks and the little sugar, just a little bit, and then there's a yeast component, like yeast. I don't know why that's coming through, but that's a little yeastiness, like you get with bread or sourdough bagel, or any kind of fermented product, beer, wine, liquor. It's just a yeast component. Oh, must be the Winn-Dixie because I kept saying the Winn-Dixie was dry. Oh. Okay, here we go. Do they taste the same? Not really. Not exactly. Are they vastly different one from another? Well, I don't know about all that. They're very similar. All these, look, I have so many clear rums, silver rums, white rums. They're not really that different. Except for Ron Rico. That thing is a mess. But and Caliber is different because this tastes like strawberry shortcake, which is strange. But overall, they just kind of like the same. Now Bacardi, you could tell it's at a higher level. It's at a higher level. You're not going to confuse Bacardi with these little these little value priced rums, let's call them. So no, I would not confuse. I got Bacardi coming. I'm not going to confuse Bacardi with these. It's not going to happen. That's an impossibility. Really, it's an impossibility. You pay a little bit more for Bacardi, a little bit more. It's not expensive. Palo Viejo, though, Palo Viejo, yeah, it's kind of like these. Castillo, kind of like these. I'm thinking of ones I have. Ronrico, not Ronrio, Ronrico, a really old brand. Yeah, it's kind of like these. Cruzan, well, now Cruzan's not exactly like these. Okay. Sounds like an interesting area, Tom. I think they even had the quintessential teepees. Teepees. Oh, okay. All right, nice stuff right there. Nice. I like it. Let's go over here. Do I like this one? Yeah, I like it. But like I said, a little bit more sugarcane stalk, a little bit more yeast. Is one better than the other? I wouldn't go that far. They're about the same. Quality, even. Now you might come at me and be like, "These are cheap." Yeah, I kind of knew that when I bought them, since they were a cheap price, $5.89 and $12.99. Yeah, I figured that out like the second I saw them on the show. But it's funny, people will come to me on my channel and be like, "Do you know those are too cheap rums?" It's like, why would I not know that? I bought the products. I don't know what they want me to say. Like, I don't know this. I had people tell me that with like beer, like, well, you know, Keystone Light is cheap. I'm like, everybody knows that. That's not a mystery. That's not some secret knowledge that you got a hold of. That's common knowledge. I can't understand why they don't sell Crazy Horse beer around the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Okay, Tom. All right. Firewater, yeah. Don't know where that conversation is going. Okay. Well, okay. Here we go. End of the story. I think this is the Calypso, and that's the WD. And the reason I'm saying that is because that one had that yeast component, and I don't remember the Calypso having that. But otherwise, I mean, you say, which one would I buy? Oh, me, I'd buy either one. Whatever one's cheaper. I'll just tell you right now. Let's say liter bottles, which they may have liter bottles. I've never seen a Winn-Dixie in liter. But let's say they have this in liters, which is, like I say, possible. I haven't been to every WD liquor store. They got them all over Florida. And let's say they're liters, and they're $8.99, and this is $8.99, or it's $8.49, and that's $8. I buy whatever one's cheaper. 50 cents, say 50 cents, I buy it. Wouldn't matter. They're both good. Are they great? No. Are they fabulous? No. Are they any way terrible? No way. No, they're not terrible. You're gonna draw according to some older movies, etc. I know all about that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna say WD. Mm, it's the Calypso. Oh man, so the Calypso had the yeast component, a little bit more developed component. Well, so that's the natural flavors. Well, it might be, but what are they going to put? Natural yeast flavor in it? I don't see them doing that. Maybe vanilla, but I didn't pick that up. Heck, man, that puts me in a bad position. One win, two losses, and a tie. Not good. One win, two losses, and a tie. That's not going to get me in the playoffs. Not going to get me in the playoffs. But thankfully, I've got Calypso coming up tomorrow morning, and Calypso tastes like strawberry shortcake. So that's going to be an easy win. So then I can, after tomorrow morning, I'll be back at 2-2-1. Two wins, two losses, one tie. I know that. I know that. Now, what about with Cane Run? Cane Run is a newer Sazerac rum. They're always touting it. My friend David always says toting it. But it's not tote. Tote is when you carry something, like you're going to tote a book bag, or you tote dishes from the kitchen to the dining room, something like that. That's toting, carrying. It's a type of cap to carry something, tote it. But he says tote, but it's tout. They're always touting Cane Run, which they developed. Wasn't one of those buyouts. Wasn't one of those things they bought from somebody. They developed it. It comes from Trinidad. I think it's Trinidad, or is it Tobago? It was one of those islands, but I believe it's Trinidad. And they talk about how wonderful it is. I like it a lot, of course, but is it really any better than this? I'm not too sure about that. It's about $8 more per bottle, but at Winn-Dixie you can get it there. But we'll see. You can get the regular bottle though. I bought the handle because it was so much cheaper. Like when I went to Winn-Dixie and bought that Cane Run, it was like significantly cheaper per ounce to get the handle. So I got the handle, even though it's plastic. Now, if you want glass, you can get the 750. It's glass. It looks pretty. But if you go to Sazerac House there in New Orleans, they pushing that product. They pushing it. I don't think it's selling. They used to have a website for it. It's defunct. That's always a bad sign, but that's not my problem, But they're still touting it. So then we'll go on to Bacardi, and I can't. There's no way I'm gonna get that wrong. So I should be able to get some wins. I should be able to rack up some wins here. Okay, just right now I'm in the hole. One win, two losses, one tie. You have some Indian blood. Okay, that's all right. We all oftentimes get off subject. I do like firewater. German, Scandinavian, Irish, Scottish, Indian, and who knows what else. Only God Almighty, I guess. That's right. I see no difference in taste between plastic and glass bottles. Do you notice any differences, Kevin? No, I've never noticed any difference, but some people swear by it, that glass has to be glass. Do I prefer glass? Well, yeah, it looks prettier, but I hadn't noticed any difference in the flavor. Wayne says he does. Okay. All right. So I lose. I lost this challenge. And Calypso wins. Whoops, Calypso wins. It had a better flavor. Not much. Out of 100, they're like 98 out of 100 the same. But there's 2 out of 100 difference between these. So, well, I never thought it would happen. I never would have believed it. But Calypso beats WD. Man. Now, I had a number of people over the years ask me to do Calypso. Really, I'm not joking. They said, when are you going to do Calypso rum? I said, I never really heard of that. It's supposed to be about a Greek siren who captured Ulysses, but yet they're showing like a female Captain Morgan, like a Mrs. Captain Morgan. So the artwork has nothing. The artwork makes no sense relative to what Calypso is, but Sazerac's probably like the people that buy this liquor probably don't know what any of this is about, and they probably don't care. Furthermore, and that's probably true. Now, does this Calypso have any relationship to those flavored lemonades that they sell at Walmart? Calypso flavored lemonade. No, it has no relationship to it except it has the same name. Okay, last comments and then I'm out. I shut the lamps off. You see it's dark. Well, you can tell it's daylight outside, but it's dark in the room. Got those blackout curtains, keep the sun out. If plastic was really leaching into the product, I would assume they would only sell them in glass bottles. But what do I know? I'm only an average consumer. I'm pretty sure that there would be all kind of personal injury lawyers running around trying to get a lawsuit, right? They'd be making money off that. But do you ever see a lawsuit about PET bottles? Polyethylene tetra, whatever it stands for. No, you never see any lawsuits about that because there's no danger in it. If there was, they'd be hyping that up, like crazy. But some people believe this, because they read like the internet. All right. Okay, last comments. Dave has that Louisiana accent where the word New Orleans is one. Where the word New Orleans is one. Don't know what that means, but yeah, he has a Louisiana accent. That liquid fire seems to melt some of the plastic, but not the more perfect glass. Okay, if plastic, all right. I don't understand some of these comments. All right, anyway, thanks for watching, folks. So just goes to show you, blind taste tests are important because you think you know, but then when you do the taste test, you might find out that you don't really know. Okay, and I didn't, but I didn't think I knew it, but I didn't go into this like with bad expectations. When I went into this challenge, I thought this could be a real problem. This is what I was thinking when I was setting it up. I was thinking, man, this could be a real problem. I could very easily fail, and I did. So it wasn't any surprise. It was just aggravating, but it wasn't surprise. Are you excited for NFL preseason? I'm never excited about preseason. Well, I am. I'm excited when it's over. So yeah, I'm excited when preseason is over because I cannot stand watching practice. But anyway, yeah, I'm like, you remember who I'm talking about? Practice. We're not talking about the game. We talk about practice, right? Yeah, and if you would have tried harder in practice and if you'd have put some kind of emphasis on it, maybe you'd have won a championship. But you didn't. Anyway, I get that. It reminds me that regular season is getting closer, though. Right. I got the Saints picked to go 10 wins, 7 losses. Remember that, 10 wins, 7 losses. Dave knows all about the glass versus plastic. He does know all about that and a lot of other things. I don't know about it, but I know that other people like to harp on it. Saints have a good team now. Well, good, I would say maybe tolerable at this point. All right, anyway, enough of that. I know a little bit about it. All right, well, y'all take care. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow morning at dawn when you should be asleep, but you'll be watching me taste liquor on the internet.